Alright, so this is probably going to be one of my most differentest videos because I'm not doing anything except taking apart this mega extra large blaster because the trigger is having issues. And the mega extra large is awesome because the bolts are so big. They're harder to lose. And I guess it's just easier to play with fewer bullets, so then there's also less bullets to lose. But since the bullets are bigger, it does make them more expensive, which means it's more annoying when they break. So there's kind of that drawback. And just in case you're wondering, I have no idea what I'm doing. So when you see a spring go flying, that's perfectly normal. It happens all the time. And I'm looking at these screws and I think they're different sizes, which is so lol. I'm thinking these little guys came out of this top thing. No, I'm not good at this. Yeah, that's another long guy. So, we generally use the Nerf Mega Extra Large for a game we call Humans vs. Coconuts. And it's kind of like something else versus humans, or humans versus something else, but we don't, we don't talk about that because we're sheltered. Something's connected in here. Ooh, wait, it's sliding? Oh. Oh. But yeah, generally we give a couple people one of the blasters, and then they're like the designated sheriff, and they shoot the coconuts. But they're not allowed to pick up bullets off the ground. That's the job of the other people. And so if a designated sheriff gets tagged and becomes a coconut, then someone else can pick up the gun and becomes sheriff. But we are attached right in here. So it's a cool little game. Especially when you're like the only person left. Everyone's trying to chase you down. And you're just trying to be super intimidating. Even though you have no chance of survival. What is in there? It's a little black thing. There are no more screws on this, right? Oh, that is cool. There is a screw. Actually, that is going to be the biggest pain in the world to get back, I believe. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. But there's a screw, like a big head screw, on the inside. So actually, ideally, we loosen that up. And yeah, feel free to stop watching at any point. This has to be one of the most boring things I've ever done. We loosen that screw and kind of wiggle it out from the gap. Perfect. Yeah, that screw there has the head. So yeah, that's humans versus coconuts. And you can do some other fun things with Nerf Mega Extra Large. And I think, I don't know, I just feel like since they're bigger, they're less of a eyeball hazard. But I might just be totally wrong. Might actually be more since they're like heavier. But, not that anyone is really concerned from the beginning about Nerf being an eyeball hazard. But, yeah. So I might not even have to take off the slide, though it was fun taking off the slide. Oh boy. Alright. So these screws, I mean, it doesn't matter if these are the same length. All screws should be the same length. Don't they know dumb people like me are opening this up? So yeah, I need to scrounge around and see what videos I tried to make. If there's any salvageable clips, and make another compilation of Rocket's badness, because yeah, I start a lot of things and don't finish them, which is probably a good thing for a lot of them, but I'm sure I can make a funny compilation of all my weird things. Yeah, things are crazy. Things are definitely crazy. And this is where I get political, just warning all you people. I think there's a screw that hopefully I can just pull this out and that will go let go. Things are getting crazy, and it's the fault of people who don't do anything about them. So yeah, if you don't like the way it's going, get out there and put some work into it. I will say the government taxes us so much that, you know, we have to spend a little bit extra time. But we could also just spend a little less on what we think is awesome, like buying Nerf Mega XtrLarge to play a weird game. But yeah, we need to get out there, use the liberties that we have to preserve our liberties, and by God's grace, regain some, which that is a hard battle. Getting back liberties. I have 1 hour and 29 minutes. This is recording on the lowest quality setting. I mean, one crazy thing, like Second Amendment. Look at the gun for a second while I get my cheap copy of the American Constitution. Amendment 2. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Like, there's all this talk about, like, citizens don't need military weapons. It's for a militia. Hello? You get what I'm saying? It's for a militia. Like, military? Yeah, we need military weapons. And if you can't trust the people with weapons, then there is either something wrong with the people or something wrong with the government, or both, as I believe in our case. Though I wouldn't say, like, there's definitely something wrong with the people where they can't have any guns. I wouldn't say that at this point. But I mean, there's some people that are crazy, depraved, and yes, I'd rather not have them a gun. But it's just treating the symptoms, not treating the actual cause of it all. But yeah, when there's something wrong with the government, then the government doesn't want people to have guns, because that's power. And when you want all the power, and then you don't want other people to have power, because they might, you know, either try to take your power or keep you from taking yours. And the whole World War II Nazi thing, what do they do after they, you know, convince a country to surrender to them? They go around and take all the guns. What did they do before they started hauling the Jews away? They took their guns. And they had good reasons to. Quote unquote, good reasons to. Because, you know, I believe it was in France and in Switzerland, there was a shooting of a, you know, some German-affiliated Nazi-type guy. That guy got shot by some Jewish person. So, hey, this proves Jews are bad and Jews can't have white guns. Jews can't have white guns. Sorry. I was getting ahead in behind myself. Take or leave that mistake as you will. As I see it, it's not the government's role to prevent bad things from happening. Only to the extent of punishing. The only prevention that they should be doing is the punishing of the crime. Because otherwise, what you're doing is, because some people are evil, you are stealing the liberty of other people. Let's go back to our Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Liberty, guys. Yes, people are sinful, and they're going to do wicked things, but we don't combat that. The government definitely doesn't combat that by taking away liberties. So this is our trigger. That's broke. Do I have any mechanisms on this side? No. So yeah, this whole Second Amendment stuff is crazy and scary. And I'm glad for the states who have done constitutional carry. Which it's hilarious because that's really what it is, constitutional carry. Letting people, you know, carry guns, but everyone says, everyone, I don't think, really anyone would, claim yet that the Constitution is wrong. They just say that it doesn't apply to that. But, like, really and truly, what these states are putting in place is constitutional carry. Which is what everyone should have, because our Constitution says you can carry. It says that the right to bear arms shall not be infringed upon. Watch this, y'all. So there's a little gear in there. And we just pull this back. Ooh! So there's a gear in there, and then it's sliding on this. So, I guess, no, actually there has to be like another smaller gear in there. This is when everything goes crazy. This is when I get in trouble. So I believe, wait, it is, okay, this would be kind of cool. No, this isn't coming free, is it? If the whole mechanism was whatever. That's cool. Came free of the blaster. I'm getting better about not calling it a gun, for whatever that's worth. But yeah, we need to keep our Second Amendment rights, and a lot of places get them back. Like where I'm at, it's like, hello guys, aren't we conservative? Are we not conservative? Though I don't like conservative. The title conservative, because like, psh. Okay, excuse me. I'll take all that back. I don't like conservative in the sense that, you know, we're not bad. We're just conservative. Because, like, I don't want conservative bad people. I want good people. But supposedly they're conserving something. But they're doing a really bad job at it. They can't even conserve our constitutional rights. Rights clearly set forth by our Constitution. What is their problem? So supposedly this has to be like all the way in or out. Oh, this is so much fun. So if I push this back, there we go. So my problem is, why are we having issues with that? I believe it's the same blaster that's always having the issues. I'm really bad at this. And what ends up happening is I just take it apart and put it back together and hope it works, which is really sad. Another pet peeve of mine, just for the fun of it, ranked choice voting. That is great, but there's some conservatives who are saying it's terrible because a Democrat won in Alexa. Alexa. Yes, Amazon is messing with my brain. Hey, listen to this. Computer, am I your master?
I was built by Amazon, but I'm here to help you.
Yeah, she was built by Amazon, but she's here to help me. Oh, Alexa, Alexa, Alexa. In Alaska, some Democrat won, even though in the first round, 60% of people voted for a Republican. But that's just crazy. I mean, like, if you're going for democracy. See, and then there's some people that are just, like, so pragmatic about it all. And not that democracy is the end all. So as good old Benjamin Franklin said, democracy is two wolves and a lamb voting on what they should eat for lunch. And as someone else said, liberty is a well-armed lamb. And yeah, they're trying to de-arm us. But ranked choice voting is awesome because with just like the way it is, voting is like this game you play. So you're like, I really like this other candidate, but I don't think he's popular enough. So if I don't go for the number one candidate, you know, if the number one candidate gets a bunch of support, maybe all the support that it can, it won't be enough to beat any of the other candidates, but that losing that support will cause the number two candidate to lose to the number three candidate. And like, that's just, to me, it's just stupid to, you know, have a system like that where you're just like, I don't know what to do. How can I, like, most strategically place my vote? But, like, ranked choice voting, it lets everyone just say, this is my number one candidate, this is my number two candidate. Instead of, like, gambling on, you know, whether or not you can get away with supporting your number one candidate. So, yeah, that's my thing. Ranked choice voting is awesome. We need it. But it's just, you know, no hard feelings on anyone. But it's just kind of annoying when people are like, oh, it's awful because we lost a seat. Which I need to even look in how lousy, you know, all those candidates were. Because it was the people's choice that, you know, the Democrat. So all those people that voted Republican, you know, made it 60%. Well, if the first person to be eliminated, if that person was their first choice, then as we see, that the Democrat candidate was their second choice. So if it was under the old system, they wouldn't have voted for their first choice because they wouldn't want to give their support
they wouldn't want to waste their support on that. They would have just voted for their second choice as a Democrat candidate. And yeah, as I'm seeing it, the Democrat candidate would have won anyway. One of these pieces is just going to go flying, and it's going to be hilarious.
I don't like that I'm not coming up with anything here. I'll just put it back together and see if it works. Yes, I'm such a great engineer. But yeah, ranked choice voting isn't disabled. And it's kind of interesting. I was like just thinking about, I'm like, hey, campaigning these days is not about changing people's minds. It's just about getting your people to vote. Because people are really bad about voting. It's like, do you guys not care that our country is just like going south? Does that just not bother you? It's not like we're going to save the world by voting, but good can be done by getting good guys in there. And come on, guys. Let's make the government small again. Forget about making America great. Make the liberties of individual Americans great. Because America's pretty messed up. How many trillions are we in debt? A crazy wrong amount, of course. Obviously. My memory might be totally like wrong, and I might have totally misunderstood something. But when I was in Africa, I was telling this kid, and we were both small fries, but I was telling this kid how America was like in debt to China. And if I'm remembering correctly, he's like, what? No, that's not possible. It's like, yeah, we are. We have sold the future. And let me get on that, while I'm talking here, working on this. Just going to talk about all my little political things. It's not the government's job to do charity, okay? That's the people's job, okay? And what you do when the government supports charity, it becomes forced charity. Because if you don't pay your taxes, they're going to throw you in jail. That's not very nice. If I don't support, essentially, if you don't support this charity that these people in, politics think that you should support, then you're going to jail. Like, yeah, what happened to Liberty? Ooh, that just clicks back. Interesting. What happened to Liberty? So if I push this back, then it'll go forward. But wait a second. There should have been a spring there. There should have been a spring there. And I'm pretty sure this is not the spring. I'm going to have to look at the video footage and see if it's possible if the spring went confluey. But I'm sure we can use that spring. So, this is kind of annoying. Okay, that works. I think, like, if the trigger gets jammed up like this, see, that's the problem, that I don't think it's, like, supported enough. So you need to be, like, pulling the trigger up here, but when you're pulling the trigger down here, it's just spinning that up. So, ugh. I don't like that. Just like I don't like a lot of things. So that's,
Yeah, just the inside of it. Just for the fun of it.
Oh. We need to get ourselves an armed populace. You people need to be getting yourselves guns and using them, practicing with them. They is a great self-defense weapon. Yes, should be used carefully. They should be used wisely. But there is no doubt about it that they should be used. I know I'm weird. Hey, we have a spring there now. My only thought is that that maybe might stabilize it. But I'm not super hopeful, unfortunately. Where did that one go? Is that one front sight weird thing? Front sight weird thing. Do. Yeah, those guys are weird too. Right, that's in. That's in. I can test it now. Sorry when I've been taking this off screen. Kind of the idea that if I get up here, no problem. But when I'm down here, that I'm just spinning it back, which I hate. And maybe this is just like machined a little bit bigger there. I do not know. All right. See, like, that's a hard trigger pull versus this guy right here. And it's just annoying. So, I mean, I think I sort of figured out, like, what's going on. Like, it's just not doing it like it's supposed to. I don't know. I would almost call this a failure. I didn't take it all the way apart. I'm kind of lazy right now. I'm just going to leave it apart for part 2.